Vasai branch के past chairman. Just before me, he was chairman.
नमस्ते उन्मेष.
हेलो उन्मेष
हाय
सर.
उन्मेष जी.
यस मैडम, काफी दिनों के बाद देखा आपको.
हाँ बिल्कुल, आप बुलाते नहीं हो तो आती नहीं हो.
आप बिजी हो तो हम कहाँ.
Welcome Gangwal sir. Gangwal sir has joined us from Malegaon. Thank you sir for joining.
Ma'am, shall we start with today's program?
Yes, I think good to go.
Yes, we should. A very good afternoon and warm welcome to all the participants. I, CA Dipti Jain, founder Gyanstation, welcomes all dear Gyani participants and stalwart of profession in today's webinar, more correctly, panel discussion on new dimensions of practice, that is Virtual CFO. Whereas Gyanstation is an online global platform for CA, CMA, corporates, law practitioners, and for professionals from diverse fields. Gyanstation is on a mission to facilitate you in your journey of knowledge, professional growth, career building, and self-development. Here we motivate you and want to make everyone believe that every dream, every goal is achievable. Be the dreamer, be the alchemist. Coming to the today's very topic, that is Virtual CFO. Virtual CFO. So growing your company's revenue is a beautiful thing. There is no feeling quite like the one that comes with hitting a financial goal that's long been on your horizon, but reaching new revenue levels also come with growing pains of cost. If you have hit that point, your business needs a financial executive, but at the growing stage, it's also highly unlikely you can afford to hire a full-time CFO. You are probably wondering then, what is a virtual CFO? What can their expertise do for me? And most importantly, does my business need an outsourced CFO? So today we have gathered in this panel discussion to discuss on the services a virtual CFO provides and the benefits of engaging one, and how to decide whether outsourced CFO services are a good fit for your business or not. Today, we have got the galaxy of panelists with us. We have CA, our keynote speaker, CA Shweta Jain, past chairperson of Vasai branch of ICAI. Welcome, ma'am. CA Sandhya Upadhyay from Aditya Birla Sun Life Pension Plan. We have CA Dinesh Jain ji, ex-CFO of Meru Cabs and Marine Life. And we have, I also recognize the presence of all the stalwart of the profession. I also recognize our today's panel moderator, CA Sagar Talreja, and our team coordinator, CA Ravi Jain, who has also joined us. So taking the session ahead, I take the opportunity to introduce our today's keynote speaker, CA Shweta Jain, have academic pursuit. She is BCom, FCA and DISA. She had done diploma. She is a certificate course. She had done certificate course on concurrent audit, cooperative society audit, and forensic audit. She has over 15 years of experience of serving the profession. And she is the founder partner of Shweta Jain and Company. She is a tech-savvy chartered accountant with a diverse background with exposure of accounts and audit. She, besides these, have also experience in company law matters, accounting standards, in days. Well, she was the chairperson of Vasai branch of WIRC of ICAI for 2012 and 13. She won the best award, Best Woman CA of the year 2017 across India in the category of leading women CA in profession by Second Global. Also with the Women Achiever Award from Vasai branch of WIRC of ICAI. She has been continuously contributing as a guest faculty and program coordinator at various seminars, conferences organized by various bodies of ICAI. She has been involved in soft skill training of CA students since 2008 and have been involved and part of various committees like Women Empowerment, Students Committee, Newsletter Publication, Members Committee, Indies Committee at different platforms of ICAI. She was also nominated as a member of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board Committee for the year 2021 and was instrumental in organizing various technology-related programs. So here I would also like to share a small video which we have prepared to just share the achievements of the ma'am. And it's a privilege that ma'am is also contesting for the regional council election from WIRC. So our best wishes are with ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dipti. I'm really overwhelmed with this. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all ours, ma'am. So here is our keynote speaker and today's guest, CA Shweta Jain with us, who is also contesting for regional council election. Ma'am, the dais is all yours now. Over to you.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today. It is always a pleasure to become a part of this Gyanstation for me. So you and your team is doing really a wonderful job. So my compliment is to you and your team for spreading the knowledge. So as today's topic, new dimension for practicing chartered accountant. Let me admit that most of the practicing chartered accountants are unaware about this new concept of virtual CFO. And I should say this, that this is the perfect time you touch upon the right topic at right time and right platform. And I'm sure our participants will be benefited because our panelists are really eminent speakers, I can say, to drive this subject, because Sandhya is already a CFO and she can very well explain what is the expectations from corporate end and what is actual concept of this virtual CFO. And Dinesh ji, who has been in a long journey as a CFO, so and currently is providing a services of virtual CFO, so he is a better person to guide us about this virtual CFO services. So this is a new concept, and it's a way for small businesses to get CFO support that they would not have been possible to afford previously. So small businesses that hire a virtual CFO, they can get access to an experienced financial professional at a fraction of the cost of full-time CFO. So nowadays, small businesses now have so much choice that ordinary services like compliances, tax preparations, and basic bookkeeping and becoming commodities. So the services provided by a virtual CFO will definitely differ from firm to firm, but usually a virtual CFO can handle all the duty of traditional CFO. He can monitor the financial health and well-being of the business. He can offer financial insight and guidance on all companies' decision and issues. Also, he can provide back office functions such as managing accounts, ledgers, depending on the client and third party needs or their needs. So friends, the accounting profession is going through some major changes. So there are now more firms competing with each other even before. So I can see a very good opportunity for practicing chartered accountant to enter in this type of services. So for expert guidance, our panelists are here. So I don't want to come between you all and the expert. So I will conclude here my talk. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving such a crisp and to the point keynote for today's session. We have got the we have also have the stalwarts of our profession in today's session. I invite CA Pramod Damnekar, who is the past chairman of Vasai branch, to say a few words. Over to you, sir. Pramod sir, you can unmute yourself. Okay, I think he got some connectivity issue. I invite CA Unmesh Narvekar, also the past chairman of Vasai branch of ICI, to share his views.
Good afternoon to all of you, friends. It's really nice to see all of you on this platform, and the unique topic of virtual CFO is being taken for a discussion. The senior most people are there who have been serving the bigger organizations, the larger organizations in front of us. So their experiences will definitely give us quite a lot of inputs for our activities. But what we see presently, the trend, the last couple of years, the ups and downs in the economy, and basically the sector, MSME sector, what we can see, are really facing stiff problems, and the financial needs are increasing day by day because of this pandemic and all other issues. In such scenario, probably the larger organization can definitely afford, they can afford to have a complete CFO, full-time CFO at their end. But the need of these MSMEs or SSIs units, small units, will definitely be a challenge for them to have such type of a high fixed cost bearing expenditure for such CFO. So here the need of virtual CFO will definitely be a good solution for them. And in such scenario, the point is to be taken how this matching of these needs and the services of our virtual CFO. Many professionals who are experts, maybe definitely the chartered accountants are really doing very well because they are well connected with such organizations. Even though they are the offline service providers, but they have the interaction with such organization on a day-to-day basis. So in such scenarios, they can definitely play a very vital role in giving their services as a CFO. Definitely, CFO is very large scale service requirements for any organization, and it needs on timely servicing or maybe on one-to-one or day-to-day basis requirements of the organization needs to be done. But once you start with the organization, I don't think that will be a problem because you are well connected with the organization. You know the organization in and out. And in such scenario, rendering your services won't be a difficulty for them. And definitely where the cost issue comes, virtual CFO will definitely at a very economical pricing, I can say, to the MSMEs or maybe the even mid-sized organizations will definitely can easily afford to have virtual CFO. And these services will definitely give a great support to them because the MSMEs rather or the first generation entrepreneurs or maybe the first or second generation may not be having the complete experience of the finance sector. They may be good in their business developments or business activities, or their forte may be something different in their own businesses. But they may not be experts in finance or any other banking services or banking other matters. Here, the need is something definitely a great thing. And I really appreciate the initiation of this subject And I really appreciate our guest speakers who highlighted all these issues about the CFO and other matters. I really see that even she is also a business entrepreneur, and how she has, as a professional chartered accountant, she is practicing for more than 15, 16 years, and giving her services to various clients, handling, I think, quite good number of top clients also, top corporates also. So the experience of Madam will definitely be a good thing for all of us. Again, along with that, over a period of time, she has served in the profession as chartered accountant with various activities and various positions she has filled up. Will be a great experience for all of us. Madam, you are going for this regional elections. Our best wishes to you. Our complete support is with you. And I really feel that this is an era of women's, basically. Not just to praise the women's, but I have seen that the age, the today's world is something different, and the women are really empowered. And there is no need for empowering them; rather, they are empowered, and they are empowering the women's, the men's also simultaneously. So it is other way around. Rather, we are getting empowered because of their empowerment. And virtually, if you see, they are in every field. So it is not that why cannot they take any other fields? Yes, they can take any of these options available. They can do all sorts of activities. And today we can see they are doing wonders across the globe. So I think you have taken the initiative of contesting the election for region. I think that is a great initiative. They can bring changes. Women can bring a lot of change in the entire society. So our best wishes to you also. Great going. Go ahead. We are supporting you. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and really appreciation. Thank you so much.
Welcome, madam.
And now I request CA Anu Agrawal ji to say a few words. Over to you, Anu ji. She was just.
You are on mute.
Hi, Deepti. Hi, Shweta, Sandhya. I think I know most of the chartered accountants here. And few words में मैं बस जो उन्मेष जी ने बोला है, नमस्ते उन्मेष जी, seeing you after a long time. I would just like to say one thing जो आपने बहुत appropriate बोली है, and that is women don't need to get empowered anymore. We are already empowered. But thanks to the fact कि हम empowered इसलिए हो पाए हैं because we have got such wonderful men, who are there behind us, supporting us. And I came to Mumbai in 2004, and yes, the person who has truly supported me has been CA Shweta Jain, who actually has that uncanny caliber of identifying what you can say, the person who has got talent. And she was the one who told me that, Anu, you need to actually start working and start taking up sessions. So thank you, Shweta, for identifying that talent in me. And today I am somewhere and I am empowered actually. So only thing which I would like to just put in is that I'm so happy to know that Shweta, you have finally decided to contest the elections and come forward and take care and be at the helm of affairs of the CA Institute, because I think we really need strong leaders like you who can identify talent, who can support talent, and who can nurture talent. So, and talking about the topic, I don't think I would say anything because I know Sandhya Upadhyay. She is extremely good. And I know she will do complete justice, and she would be telling you what all you people are waiting to hear. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much. And all the best, Shweta.
Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you, really. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuji, for this wonderful words. Now I invite CA Atul Mehta ji. Over to you, Atul ji. Just.
Shweta ji. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We can hear you.
Jai Jain, Shweta ji.
Jai Jain, sir.
And welcome to all of you.
Thank
And my all the best wishes for you, being you are contesting for the WRC elections, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Atulji, for such a nice words. Taking the session ahead, we have Priyanka Birla ji with us from Abu Dhabi chapter. She is in the managing committee of the ICI chapter in Abu Dhabi. Over to you, Priyanka. Priyanka, you are the co-host. You can unmute yourself. So taking the session forward, I think Priyanka ji is not able to connect. So we have got our panelist. Hello. We have our panelists CA Sandhya Upadhyay ji and CA Dinesh Jain ji to carry us on the journey of what virtual CFO. So I request our today's panel moderator, Sagar Talreja ji, who is having 6 years of experience and doing research on online banking. Over to you, Sagar. The dais is all yours.
Thank you so much, CA Dipti ma'am. So I hope I'm audible. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Gyanstation, firstly for the invitation, and thank you so much for this opportunity. So again, from my side also, best wishes to Shweta Jain ma'am for the elections, and good afternoon, everyone. So let's begin, everyone, with the panel discussion on a new dimension of practice, the virtual CFO. So the world of accounting and finance has gone through multiple developments in the recent years. We live in a virtual world right now, which has been accelerated and pushed during the pandemic. This leads us to the concept of a virtual chief financial officer. So my question to both the panelists, Sandhya ma'am and Dinesh sir, is what does one understand by a virtual CFO?
Dinesh, would you like to take ahead first?
Yeah. So Sandhya, I would respond to that. Sagar, in my own view, it is when you say virtual CFO, meaning the person who is not working full time on in the management of the company, and he is at the same point of time he's rendering services to about let's say 5 or 6 clients. So that is why it is called virtual CFO. So it is not in the context of he's not there on the site or something like that. It is a combination of on-site and off-site both. So when we talk about virtual CFO, meaning he is rendering this he is a chief financial officer for multiple clients at one point of time, and that's what I would explain that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Dinesh, and thank you, panel and everybody here on the Gyanstation for the opportunity. Okay, so basically, the CFO is a chief financial officer, as we understand. From a regulatory point of view, there is a key management personnel. So the company is having X limit above, they need to have this kind of a person. So now what is we need to look at it, the actual traditional role of chartered accountants, what we are looked at as, we are expert in financial accounting. We are somebody who are a kind of a post-mortem of the activities which is done by the organizations. Now, this has actually changed over a period of time. A CFO is expected to be a strategic partner with an organization. You are not expected just to complete the books of accounts. If you have to complete the books of account, you are a glorified, you are just an accountant. You are a finance head, accounts head. You are not a CFO. A CFO is expected to give numbers, concrete. He need to flush out the strategy, what a CEO thinks. If you partner with the CEO, when I say here CEO, I mean to say that entrepreneur, an organization where you partner with him, give numbers to his concrete thoughts, concretize his thoughts, put up with support, whatever he requires in terms of different aspects. That is what is a CFO expected. He's a strategic partner. When we say virtual CFO, now this requirement is not applicable. There is a regulatory requirement, but there are other organizations where this requirement is not there. Having said that, the role of a CFO or a finance person or a chartered accountant has gone for a transformation. As a small SMEs, where India is growing, where Mr. Modi comes up and say he has 1,001 lakh crore spent for next infrastructure, people will come into this domain. That is where we are growing. So probably there would be a new class of startups, unicorns, where they would require our support. So a chartered accountant is providing services which is up the ladder, up the value chain, is actually what we call it as virtual CFO. We are talking from the concept of moving from our traditional base after the activities have done to earlier, prior services before the activities are to be done. So that is virtual CFO according to what I conceive this idea as.
Thank you so much. So picking up from what both of you all have just said, so traditionally, the role of an accountant, a finance expert, and also to some extent a CFO was more administrative in nature.
Absolutely.
Now, we know that this is changed a lot over the years, and it is becoming more strategic in nature. So can you both elaborate more on the role and the responsibilities of a virtual CFO?
So, Sandhya, I would go for that.
Please, Dinesh.
Yeah. So, when you talk about the role, and Sandhya explained in her earlier communication, to me, it is basically in today's world, the CFO is somebody who actually smells the number. Gone are those days where you were just kind of, you were analyzing and just presenting a data. I think the level of demand has gone up from a CFO over a period of time, where the knowledge of CFO has to be about 85 or 90% of what CEO knows of the company. So your knowledge of business, your knowledge of customer, your knowledge of end-to-end processes in the company has to be almost 80% or 90% of what CEO knows in the company. Now, when we talk about the areas which is like emerging and which is the current demand of a CFO or so-called virtual CFO, I would say that if you go away from traditional chartered accountant, it is basically, in case of virtual CFO, it is planning, budgeting, forecasting, strategic plan, costing and management system in the company, then the working capital management, which is a core issue in COVID scenario as we speak. Then comes the investor management, where the company is looking for funds either from a private equity or from banks. So it is also investor management to a great extent. And then, in terms of very super specialized area, legal space. So in case somebody is investing into the company, then understanding the term sheet and also, assisting the whole board in terms of whether this term sheet is making sense or not. So it can start from planning, forecasting, then it comes to your, costing, working capital, treasury, and then it goes into legal and all those areas is how I would like to put it across. Thank you.
So the basic things what Dinesh said, I vouch for that. He's supposed to look at the planning strategy. So I have a slight different take towards this, or I have a way of putting it differently. The CFO is no more considered as a secondary or one of the CXOs. In an organization where you have multiple CXOs, the CEO, the operating manager, or the COOs, and the IT heads, and the HR heads, there is one person who understands and talks the languages of all these people and put it into some kind of a statistic, what the vision the CEO is putting. If a sales team, so understand there are different domains. Cybersecurity, operational activities, how they become it, how viable it is from an organizational perspective to do such kind of things. There's a CEO, CFO becomes eyes and ears of the CEO. So he is the second most critical person in an organization from the sustainability growth perspective for an organization. A CFO is no more like one of a CXOs that he knows his domain and he has to be happy. Okay, I know my job, I know my processes, I know my this stuff, and I'm happy. I'm not. I need to know what HR is doing, what kind of activities they're looking at, what kind of promotions they're looking at, what kind of performance bonuses they're projecting. Because if I don't have control of that, I will not be able to manage my stuff. If HR comes up and says, okay, fine, I'm okay to give 5%, it is not good because it will have a repercussions in other areas. If he says 25%, I'm still not happy. No, this is not good. If a sales guy comes up and says, no, this is not happening, I need this kind of a technology to do this kind of thing, I will have to question. Does the CFO's role become more of a kind of, he is kind of a version of a CEO. So the transition from a CFO to CEO is far easier, I would say. He is expected to know that. Because a CEO won't be expected to know that he needs to have everything on his hand. He needs to be assisted in the decision making. The board also looks at the CFO as a strategic partner. Now the regulatories are changing. Even in abroad, other countries, the CFO forms part of different committees. In India, still he is still not part of any committee. From a regulatory perspective, not a single committee requires a CFO to be part of the committee. Having said that, he is supposed to sit in all the committees and explain everything to the board. You get my point? So, but in other countries, the directors actually look up to the CFOs to explain how it is there. They try to corroborate the vision what the CEO is putting in front of me. Is it sustainable? Is it viable? So this CFO's role is all pervasive. I would call him as a person who understands different aspects of business and actually knows how it works. You can call him as a master or jack of all, but master of none. But he needs to be that. Then you become a CFO. I think that is my take on the role of a CFO.
Thank you so much. So indeed, it's a quite dynamic role which we are heading into. So, ma'am, you mentioned about regulatory requirement. So currently, under the Companies Act, the CFO is a part of the KMP, that is the key managerial person.
Yeah.
But that is for large companies, listed companies. But as you just said, that he is so crucial, as both of you all just said, he's so crucial for the organization. So when we talk about the not so large companies and the business segments and markets who will require this role, can you please elaborate on the clientele of a virtual CFO?
Absolutely, Sagar. The clientele for this role would be anybody who wants to grow. Any organization who wants to grow, wants to be in the business, serious entrepreneurs will require to have this kind of a person. So just understand, if you have a 20 years of experiences, you are in big corporate, 500 crore of rupees is a salary, that person will not be able to satisfy. Even if a SME or MSME ready to give that 500 crore of a salary, but he will not give a job satisfaction to that guy. End of the day, there is a job satisfaction. I should be satisfied doing that job. If there's a new setup, small, but I'm not able to satisfy. So I need to have that job satisfaction as well when I become a CFO. So this is a win-win situation for both. For a chartered accountant who is into practice, they can give a value addition. I can just narrate one simple layman's example. We go to a 5-star hotel or something. We ask them to add paneer bhurji only. But the way they decorated, the ambience and everything, वो उसके साथ में ना एक ऐसा थोड़ा पापड़ लाके आपको दे देगा. That's the value addition. The chartered accountants need to start thinking this kind of a value addition. So for anybody who is serious, it can be an entrepreneur, the organizations are growing, SME sector, MSME sector, anybody can avail these kind of services. As a chartered accountant, we provide this value addition. So the person calls you up. He does not call you after 31st March, madam, mera accounts close kar dijiye. He should call you before he calls the decisions. We can plan, he can well negotiate it with the banks in terms of financial facilities. They can also manage the working capital for the company. They can also business in terms of deals. Now we see here a lot of these unicorns being bought up and bought and everything. How do you think they sustain? This is all because of the virtual CFOs they have. Either they hire CFOs or virtual CFOs. That's the thing. That's going to change. Everybody needs a CFO. To be very honest, an HNI also should have a CFO, according to me. Because then only he will be able to manage your staff. We may call him as a financial planner or anything. We need that kind of a person, even for an HNI.
Thank you. Yes, Dinesh.
Yeah, so I think Sandhya explained very well. I mean, in terms of where this whole role comes in. But I mean, my take on this company, which is of a size of, it should have some minimum size. So, for example, if the company is like more than 10 to 15 crore rupees and then looking to grow till 50 or 100 crore rupees, will be the ideal set of the company where this kind of service is required. As Sandhya mentioned in her earlier communication, because for the CFO also, he has to have a job satisfaction. So in the extremely small, it may not be the virtual CFO service may not be the fully relevant, or he may not feel enough value into all that process. In terms of complexities in the current environment, in my own view, the complexities where these companies are today working, whether it is a manufacturing company or service company, are increasing day by day, and a plethora of laws which one has to comply, or plethora of issues which comes across. So if your company is looking forward to grow manyfold in time to come, then there is an ideal platform for virtual CFO. Then there is another type of candidates, which is, let's take an example of startups. So when you take a startup, then this kind of guys, I mean, look at like end-to-end help from this kind of a person, because a traditional they are not looking at a traditional compliance only. They are looking at like whether my business model is right, whether my marketing strategy is right, whether I will be able to scale up, whether my pricing model is right. Okay, so quite a lot of services which today's startup is looking at it, and in my own view, and which is where also virtual CFOs are playing a very important role. So yeah, I mean, so virtual CFO in time to come is going to grow manifold, and in India GDP is people are looking forward to grow like 5 times from here, 3 to 4 times from here. And if the GDP has to grow from here, then the MSME, SME, and startup will play a very important role, and which is where the virtual CFO services will be very useful.
Great. Actually, coming to startups also in our country, in India, we are right now the third largest. We experienced third largest growth in startups in technology last year, as per report by NASCOM. So as how both of them have pointed out, there is so much opportunities coming up. So coming to Dinesh, sir, you have worked for the top organization. Both of you all have worked for top organizations for multiple decades. So you are currently in your private practice. You were earlier associated as a CFO for Merrill Life Science of the Bilakia Group. And so how do you see your role as a person in private practice assisting these organizations? Means how does one assist these organizations in the small and medium enterprise more specifically? Can you elaborate on that?
So Sagar, so I have come into practice about 9 to 10 months back, and this is where the actual struggle starts. Actually, quite a lot of time it happens with me that the client is not even aware that he needs it. Okay, so that's where the whole struggle starts. And once he start interacting and see your work, and then he sees, wow, I didn't even think about it. To give you a simple example, when you go to medium or small, they are habitual of filing income tax where they don't pay income tax or minimum income and all. They don't look long-term scenario. But when you go for expansion of the company and you are looking for a loan and you go to financial institutions to take a loan, and which is when you are not able to get it. That's when they realize, oh my God, I didn't even think it from that perspective that I'm not showing enough income, or my data is not correct out here. So one has to show them the realistic and holistic perspective, which is when people start appreciating it. The second sector, which I would come over here in startup, to my knowledge, I think any and every startup needs a virtual CFO, because quite a lot of very few startups succeeds in a long race, and quite a lot of them fail. So when you analyze why quite a lot of them fail, I think it is very, very important and essential that a proper finance person is guiding and mentoring them. And if it is this mentorship and guidance is proper, then the chances of success is far higher, and they will be able to deliver quite a lot of value. So this is where we come from, Sagar.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Coming to Sandhya ma'am. Sandhya ma'am, you are currently associated as the CFO with Aditya Birla Sun Life for more than 5 years. Now, in your career, how have you seen the role of a CFO evolve from the beginning of your career to where it is right now? And where do you see it is going to evolve further with this virtual CFO dimension coming up?
So, Sagar, I have been associated with Birla's, right? It is almost now 2 decades. I joined them as an assistant manager over a period of time. But I had been probably very lucky to have my mentors who were always the finance head or the CFOs. So I have worked under different roles and had the USP of working in an unstructured environment. So I am actually somebody who had led a lot of projects for the companies and everything, even different capacities. But I've seen those roles changing. So I had my mentor, the Mr. Kailash Agarwal, who I used to see how he used to do that thing. So earlier it was purely from an accounts financial perspective, he used to look at things. He used to be engaged in different things, but I never saw him so vocal or participating in different forums and everything. This is, I'm talking way back 20 years, almost when I started my career, 2 decades before. But over a period of time, when I think I joined Aditya Birla Nuvo, which is erstwhile Aditya Birla Capital. So there we had a very nice experience of working with the group CFOs. So one of them was Mr. Sushil Agarwal. Then we had an appointment Mr. Adesh Gupta. So when I saw these people, they were not the traditional CFOs. They were not looking at those accounts the way like we used to think in nahi balance sheet har cheez aapko pata honi chahiye. They were totally different. So when I saw my mentor looking at these balance sheets and numbers and everything, I had my mentor, Mr. Manoj Kedia, whom I used to report. I used to see that when he used to take the numbers, he just used to point out that problematic thing where it is. So how the perspective changes. I had an opportunity to work on the banking license project for Aditya Birla. Unfortunately, we could not get the license thanks to RBI. But I had an opportunity working with these people, Mr. Ajay Srinivasan and everything. There the perspective changed. When I was working with that project, I was working with McKinsey. I was working with Boston Consulting. I had an opportunity to work 3 years. I was a core team member. The way they looked at was completely different. They need to have a different perspective. I have been with, I was selected when we got into this venture national pension system, when they opened up the licenses and when we applied. So I was one of the earliest member. I think they wanted some senior person. So I was heading this particular project. And right from licensing till now, we are around 500 crore. I have started from zero. Now I'm 500 crore. So here as a small start, when we started off, we had a different perspective. It was not kya balance sheet karoge. The role did not end up writing books because there was no transactions. We are a startup. So we were more involved into strategy, how things are moving, why things are moving, what is a cyber security. I was very fortunate to work with my, I call these them as my mentors, Mr. Shashi Krishnan, who heads the NPS Trust CEO now. He moved from my company and became the regulator. So there, the perspective he used to bring on table, completely different. You are not expected to know the balance, right? The balance sheet. You are not expected to voucher process hua ki nahi. You are expected to know how is the impact. Is cybersecurity hitting us? What is the internal finance control? And I think IFC is a beautiful example. As a chartered accountant, I don't know why it is not so much exploited or utilized. When ICO4 came in, I was one of the, I actually implemented ICO4 Birla Sun Life Insurance. So there, when we saw that ICO4 implementations, more than 60 processes and more than 700 controls. Consistency, you look at the processes, you are looking at the risks, you are looking at controls, you are identifying the concerns, what are they? These are the things that is value addition which we bring to the table. My boss is still not interested to know कि आपने balance sheet में debit किया कि नहीं किया, एक दिन का delay हुआ नहीं हुआ. They're not interested to know that. They are more interested how you contribute to the business, how the business is growing, whether the strategy what we are implementing is right. So these things, there is a huge change. I have seen our stalwarts are all across ABC. I can tell you, ABG. I can tell you, the CFOs are no more traditional CFOs. They have changed. That is a strategic role. If you have that, then you become a CFO. People will not appoint somebody with an accountant background as a CFO. So those are into jobs or something, those are chartered accountant, aspiring chartered accountant, those who have an ambition to become a CFO, you need to expand your horizon. You need to, आपको accounting standard नहीं आ रहा, एक आध accounting standard miss हो गया, no problem. But you know how to, where to find it and how to take care of that. So there is a huge change. Sagar, nobody is interested to know ki, section so and so mein kya hua. As a CFO, nobody is going to ask me. But they want to ask me, this is a strategy, this is an action, what is an impact on my business? Please let us know. This is a change, how it is impacting my business. GST came in, what is the financial implications for me? What is the cost of the projects I need to do that? How it is going to affect my business? What is the cash flow that I'm going to block in because of these regulations? That they're interested. They are not interested to know GST ka section ye batao. They are interested to understand the impact of GST on my business. So you can see this is a change actually. You need to have a macro view if you want to head in that particular position. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Okay,
I would like to recognize the presence of Amritji Jain, CA Amritji Jain, who had joined us. Meanwhile, I would request all the participants to please quote your questions with all the panel discussions before our panelists, so that give ponder on all the thoughts and experience which the panelists have shared with you. So keep putting your questions. We'll take it in the end of the session. And I request Amritji Jain to say a few words in today's session. Over to you, Amritji. You are co-host. Okay, I request, I also recognize
now you can listen to me.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Yeah. No, the name itself is good today because thanks to the organizer, first of all, the Gan Station, because it itself, stations relate to a lot of things because we all are working. Every day we have a station word in our mind. So whenever we go here and there, the same way, it is a Gyan Station, and definitely I was listening. I have joined around 30 minutes or 20 minutes back, but I think that the discussions are absolutely good. And my personal interest was that Shweta Madam was the key speaker for the day. And I also think that she is consistently contesting the WRC elections. Last time we missed the verse by very narrow margin, and we want that this time we should not have any stone untouched, and we have to cross that line. We want that Shweta should be the member of this WRC council. This is my end. Last time also I was putting my best efforts, but with full energy, with double energy, I will try this time that Shweta Madam should go to the WRC. All the best, Shweta Madam.
Sir, for this words. This is really encouraging for Shweta ma'am. I request Naveen Mehta ji. I recognize the presence of CA Naveen Mehta ji, who had also joined our today's session. Over to you, Naveen ji.
Thanks, ma'am. All the best to Shweta. I think she is one who really deserves to be the candidate for the WIRC. अमला जी के साथ ही लास्ट टाइम हमने बहुत मेहनत की थी.
अभी इस टाइम भी करेंगे.
लेट स्टार्ट की वजह से थोड़ा सा रह गए थे और इस बार
Sir,
इस बार
please continue.
आई थिंक
सर वो आ रहे हैं. हाँ.
Sir, just hold on. I'll mute all. You please unmute yourself. Yeah, Naveen sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. I think Shweta is one who really deserves to be at the WIRC. हम लोग आर्टिकलशिप से साथ थे. मैं सोचता हूँ कि she is one of the strong leader and who can represent at any platform of the institute to us. Last time अमृत जी और सबने बहुत मेहनत की थी और इस टाइम आई थिंक वो फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस वोट से ही जीते. हमको वो ट्राई करना है क्योंकि जो मेहनत और जो ट्राई है उससे जहां तक मेरा आइडिया है she has to win, but we will try that she will win by the first preference vote only, not go for the second and third preference. All the best to Shweta.
Okay, thank you, sir. Shweta ji is there. I would invite Shashi ji to express himself. Over to you, Shashi ji.
Good evening, all. I know Shweta for the past 5 years or so. Like I'm from SARC. I mean, though I would like to give my first preference vote for her, I can't vote for her because I'm coming from a different region. So, like, what I like about Shweta is her leadership qualities. And then, can you all hear me? Am I audible?
Just a minute. Yes, ma'am.
इसको क्या हुआ अचानक से?
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah.
I'll mute all. Ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, one and all. I am Sashikla Ravi Venkateshan from SARC. Like I know Shweta for the past 5 years. 2016, WRC had arranged for a trip to Singapore, study tour to Singapore. That's where I met Sandhya, Shweta and all. So it was such an amazing trip. Like there we had lots of challenges. We were from all the regions, 5 regions. And then like all the challenges were brilliantly handled by Shweta single-handedly. Like that's where what we look for in a leader. She has immense leadership qualities. She is very, very humble and down to earth. We need such people at the helm. Wishing her all success. Shweta, may you get the highest first preference vote in WRC and wishing you all success. Thank you, dear. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you can switch on the camera. You won't.
I'm in a client's place. Sorry, I'm not. I was in the
Okay.
midst of a meeting. I told Shweta, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. Thank you so much, Sasi, Naveen ji, Amrit ji. Sorry, I got disconnected due to some technical issue. So I'm not able to switch on my video. But really, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed.
Thank you, Shweta, ma'am. Now, after this pause, I would request Sagar ji to continue with the panel discussion.
Yes.
We have.
Thank you so much, and warm welcome to all those who have joined us and shared your words. Okay, so my next question is to Dinesh sir. Dinesh sir, we just heard from Sandhya ma'am about how.
Sagar, sorry, just a pause. We have Kakaria ji with us. I just missed out. Kakaria ji, over to you. Sir have to leave for meeting, so we would like to have his words of wisdom.
Hi, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today, and very nice session is going on. So thank you to Gyanstation for this. This is a wonderful day and of Janmashtami. It is said by somebody that अच्छे लोगों की कृष्ण भगवान बहुत परीक्षा लेते हैं, but उनका साथ कभी नहीं छोड़ते हैं. So पिछले बार श्वेता जी की परीक्षा हो चुकी है, but कृष्ण भगवान ने उनका साथ छोड़ा नहीं है. So best wishes to Shweta ji for getting huge success in this election. All the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kakaria.
Thank you so much, Amarji. Thank you.
I request Sagar to continue with the panel discussion with
Yes,
our eminent panelists.
Yes. So my next question is to Dinesh Jain sir. Dinesh sir, we just heard from Sandhya ma'am about the past decades, how the how the role of a CFO has evolved. So you have been associated as in private equity along with in Meru as a group financial officer. So can you please elaborate on how the role of a CFO has evolved and what do you think virtual CFO will bring to the table going ahead?
So in my whole working experience, I started my career with multinational companies, and the operating environment in multinational company is very, very different as compared to the private equity driven. So from my multinational company experience, I joined private equity firm called True North, and my role there was to look after their portfolio companies which were into different industries per se. If I describe my role in one line, my role was to figure it out how to do. I mean, in the sense that, and when I say this one line statement, how to do, meaning my role gets into the regulatory issues for the business. My role gets into the business model issues for the business. My role gets into the any taxation or large scale taxation issue which could erupt later on. So all these areas, and also it goes into the scalability of the business. So in the private equity, the situation was from completely certainty in multinational company to complete vagueness. I mean, some of the companies where I worked, those industries were evolving at that point of time. Like Meru itself was a mobility example, and that was the first company which was evolving into the mobility space. So regulatory environment was quite unclear at that point of time. And the second example, I would quote it that I was engaged into Radio City 91.1, and we were the first license taker for in that private radio stations at that point of time. So whole situation was evolving, and quite a lot of things were vague into whole that. So an ability to work into vague situation and deliver what it takes to deliver. And the issues could be like, you have to ramp up your team. You are not getting right set of people. There are significant issues with the processes. So I mean, in true sense, it is like if somebody loves challenge, then that is the right kind of environment. Coming from there to a promoter-driven organization, which is where I started working with an individual who is putting his own money, and he doesn't take money from anybody else, and which is where you get to know that an Indian promoter, how he runs the business and how he grows the business. So in terms of your understanding working with him, I mean, there would be 30,000 products in the company, and there will be, if you are talking about 29,999 product, and if he knows the costing by heart, that what is the costing of that product and how much it takes to produce that particular product, right? So understanding of the business in and out was the complete requirement. I would quote one example. My day, whenever I'm visiting the field, my day will start early at about 6 o'clock. I will be with the surgeons into their operation theater, and my meeting with surgeons, the top class surgeons, will most of the time will end up into their OT room. So they are operating on the patient, and they are doing complex procedure on a patient. So somebody's stomach is open, somebody leg is open, somebody brain is open, and I'm standing with him and having discussion with him on some of the product related things. So the expectation of the management from my side is, you need to know your customer, or you need to know your product as much as the CEO knows it, okay, and then contribute on that particular aspect in the board. So in terms of the expectation from the CFO, gone are those days where it was like, typical bookkeeping, compliance. Now the time coming in is where you need to know your customer, you need to know your business in and out, and accordingly structure all the analytics, all the what you call compliance, everything, your team, your systems, processes, which is catering to the business needs. So the topmost need is business, and that is what is a CFO is expected to deliver, and which is where I come from.
So listening to both of your stories about your corporate career, we can clearly see how things have evolved in businesses. and with times we also as individuals, as professionals, must evolve. So there's a question. The next question is actually a question which is also put up in the chat box from CH Srinivas. Sir, that what are the skill sets needed by a CA to become a successful CFO and take on this role of a virtual CFO? This is a question for both of you all. Sandhya ma'am, you can go first.
Okay. So I think I read the question. The first question was, do we have the capabilities first? So does CA have all the required skill set required for an entrepreneur? Support an entrepreneur? I think this was a question, Mr. Srinivas. Okay. So I would say yes. We have all the skill set. Being a chartered accountant, I think the institute, all the kind of curriculum we have, we are grilled to know everything. We may understand the books and everything, but I think the unique feature what a CA profession teaches you is to look at the right place for the right answers. And that capabilities come very handy if you are there to become a CFO or a CEO or any role which you want to go. So in terms of the skill set, yes, we are qualified chartered accountants with certain kind of a grooming and efforts. We will be able to drive these results. From a soft skills perspective, what I feel as an individual, we need to have a macro perspective. Generally, what happens, we chartered accountant, what I have seen, I don't know how others may agree or disagree according to their thoughts. Of course, there are no two answers are same. Generally, we tend to become very micro in our approach. We look at the thing and say that this is an implication for this. As I gave an example about GST regulations coming in, we spoke about the regulations, the issues and everything. But if we are able to put it, what it will have an impact on organization or an industry or a setup, probably that change from a micro to a macro level. If we are able to bring that, I think we would success in any role, whatever we take. If we want to become partner, we want to be in the boardrooms. This is a key trait one should possess.
Thanks, Sandhya, and I would add on to what you said. I think you put it nicely that a macro view is required, and that's absolutely true. When I look at it holistically for CA in practice, Sandhya, this particular issue.
Yeah.
People, most of the CA nowadays I'm dealing with quite a lot of CA in practice. They look at a narrow view from a compliance side and one or other area. Yeah. So they limit themselves to one or two areas in the company. As Sandhya said, one need to have the macro view. So one need to understand the business where you are engaged holistically, and then give consultancy to the client that what kind of changes are required in the processes or what kind of modifications are required out there. One need to have the very, very sound understanding of the business. And second thing, which I believe, so in the large organization, whichever place Sandhya, whichever company Sandhya has worked or I have worked in my life, one very important quality is collaboration. So you are, as a CFO or a virtual CFO, one need to have collaboration, whether production wala आदमी हो गया या whether R&D वाला आदमी हो गया या sales वाला हो गया या marketing वाला हो गया या HR वाला हो गया. One need to collaborate with all these people to have holistic understanding and then give a calibrated response to the management that what will be the correct way in this current situation to deal with this particular issue. And that will only come through collaboration, talking with people, appreciate other point of view. So collaboration and then macro. I think both combination together will make the candidate good fit for virtual.
So I just wanted to add here something, like probably I am into corporate, so I have a perspective. People are bound to collaborate with us because of our roles and everything. They know that budget nahi sanction hoga agar hum okay nahi karenge. So that is one, we kind of carrot and stick approach what we follow. But having said that, I'll tell you, since I had worked on different projects, as I said, even this license for pension fund, we are one of the NPS trust companies. We are one of the 7 pension fund companies, and we are there. We are registered with NPS Trust. I hope everybody is aware of NPS system. If not, I can check the session later on. So what happens here is when we work there, they are more interested to understand. I may not understand the industry. When I joined the NPS, or when I was working on the banking license project, I did not know the B. I remember sitting in that meetings with McKinsey explaining the strategy, and I did not understand anything what they spoke. Or currently, if I'm looking at my digital websites and everything, when they say breadcrumbs, I go and tell them I understand only bread in the sandwich. I do not understand any of the breadcrumbs. The ability to ask questions. You need to go and ask questions. You need to have a right set of people. Be humble. Don't feel कि वो मुझे मैं उसको पूछ लूंगी तो मेरी बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. Trust me, nobody does a बेइज्जती. They're more than happy. Collaborate with the right set of people. If you are working in X industry, suppose if you are taking into beauty industry, go and talk to the people. Try to understand how they look at. See, you cannot be a master of all the industries. I have worked in the financial service sector, but I have also worked in manufacturing and everything. So I understand everything because I was a CFO's position with the CFO's office. So I understand the key management risk areas across all the functions. But it may not be so for somebody else. So go and talk to the people, go on ground, collaborate. The CA fraternity is huge. कोई ना कोई तो बंदा होगा जो किसी ना किसी customer को handle करता होगा. Go and talk to the sales. There are so many programs on LinkedIn, Udemy or anything. Go and talk. Just don't have these programs only ki section XYZ kya impact hai. I'm sorry to say, Shweta, this is my humble request. Once you become a regional council member, please do not have these kind of programs. We know where to read the sections and we know how to interpret. We want to have additional informations. So if we can have that kind of a thing, attend these programs, attend this strategy, what is happening there. So if we are able to do a lot of homework, we are ready to participate, we are ready to go and ask the right question, we are ready to collaborate, I think nothing is going to stop us. And the topmost thing, what Dinesh already said, collaborate. Yeah. So I think it goes without saying, you should be able to collaborate. Soft skills is a very key thing. We need to work upon, we need to develop that aspects, which is very much missing. We hire chartered accountants, the fresh chartered accountant comes in. If an MBA has come in or a chartered accountant, we find a huge kind of a difference. I have worked with McKinsey, the IIMs who come, who are very freshers. They come for internship. Last year hota hai, the internship ke liye aate hain. They work for 4 months. But the kind of impression they create, they are placed at the clientele position. Just imagine a company which is billing in dollars. They take that risk of appointing these people at a clientele place, and the clientele is happy. They have done a good job. So that kind of a commitment or the interest people we find lacking in our profession. So probably the institute, those people who would be there, I'm very positive, right set of people would be selected in the elections and everything. They should bring that kind of a change. That will only help. Right mindset is the only solution for you if you really want to grow. I hope I've answered the question, Sagar.
Thank you so much. So we now
I hope Srinivaji is happy with the answer. Srinivaji.
Thank you.
Now we go to final concluding remarks. So, yeah. Ma'am, now we know that we are going through a pandemic right now. We are living in a virtual world. And many developments are taking place in taxation system, in the legal system, with e-assessments, e-courts, and now with Virtual CFO. We know after listening to both of you all that it's only going to grow. So what is your, where do you see the role of a Virtual CFO going from now onwards to the way forward? And any tips and guidance to share with all the professionals and CAs who have joined us right now, so that they can take the step to becoming a Virtual CFO?
So actually, I said to Shweta that this is my baby. Actually, this Virtual CFO thought came to me some 2 to 3 years before when we were discussing. I think Virtual CFO is the game changer. For a CA fraternity, the practices which has been into traditional practice or traditional setup, thanks to the regulatory changes, जहाँ पे audits and everything is going off and everybody is scribbling, ये audit चला गया तो मैं क्या करूँगा, वो audit चला गया तो मैं क्या करूँगा. So I think this is a new kind of a service and where we connect. I understand. I think a doctor and a chartered accountant are never out of job. Only we need to rebuild ourselves or rebrand ourselves and go and tell the people. With the advent COVID, the people, because they have been into traditional practices, people have struggled. Trust me. Then what if we look at the blue ocean theory and the red ocean theory, if somebody has read it in the management and everything, if you are not able to change yourself, the time will change. Our practice, whoever I know, mostly, other than these big fours who have their management consultancies or these McKinseys of the world and everything, other than that, what I feel here is the CA practice is the hardcore. The practice is a traditional practice. The same old. I remember the curriculum. I qualified in 2002, the 97 when I got the books of accounts. आज भी वही हम करते हैं. So if we continue to do that, we will not sustain. Not this pandemic, we will have problems other also. You will not get the data. You will not get the people to do your job and everything. So the very important is we have to change. Virtual CFO is a new thing. We need to move up the ladder, because below the ladder, when I say up the ladder, below the ladder, when I mean to say that is generally when after the books of accounts comes to me, after the return is filed, then all the postmortem activities from audit to income tax assessments, everything, that all thing is below the value chain. If we move above the value chain, we can make a difference. And trust me, you don't have to have आप consortium बना के भी कर सकते हैं. 3 to 4 chartered accountants can have a consortium and do the business. Each one, we can have a GST expert, one who is a management expert, one who is a process expert, one who is a risk, one is a legal guy. These people can conglomerate and form a practice and provide these kind of services. I need not know everything under the sun. Dinesh is good into management consultancy, or Dinesh has an expert. Shweta is good into Ind-AS. We can collaborate with her. She can do the Ind-AS part. My friend Archana Yadav, who is good in GST, we can collaborate with her about GST. Something we can do. That is how we can bring in. One person will not be able to address everything. Trust me, that is actually going to be there. So, because in corporates there are so many people to help, there are consultants you can hire. What is a virtual CFO? Practicing for the chartered accountants, it would be about collaborate. Get the right like-minded people whom you think they would like to grow with you. They want to set up a business. They want to partner with the organizations and grow. If we bring that all, we are able to pool our resources, get a proper technological background, clouds and everything, we can get that. I think Shweta, my one more suggestion for you, you guys need to do a lot of on cyber security. खाली regulations मत बनाइए, उसको खुद के लिए भी implement करिए, please. Data leakage इसका बहुत issues है. Make it ease of business for everybody. So this is one more humble request. खाली किसी एक club कहीं library मत बनाइए. You make it easy for us to have these kind of places. So if we are able to collaborate, we are able to give that environment. Probably sky is the limit. This is a practice. Guys, we need to, I'm not saying shut down your traditional practice, कल से बोरिया बिस्तर बंद करिए. We are not saying that. आपके बोरिया बिस्तर का जो काम है, you can hire inter CAs or MCOM guys who can do it. You need to give directions, you need to give framework, and they work it. Trust me, this is how we work. We don't slog, and I don't remember making balance sheet for my company. Last 4 years, I have not made any balance sheet for my company. My team does it. I have given them a framework within which they work. If I have to make a balance sheet, I'm going to spend 3 years. I'm not going to do that. Wastage of my time and resources. So I think that is something you guys need to look at. जहाँ पे वो हाथ काले के बगैर आपको हीरा नहीं मिलता वाला जो attitude है, उसको थोड़ा कम करना पड़ेगा. Need to learn delegate. Delegation, you should learn how to delegate. You should bring your people at par. The training session should be there for your team. How to collaborate, how to talk to the customers, how to address. Become that professional approach. I can just narrate one example if I'm okay, Sagar. I have that 2 seconds time. So I was working with this McKinsey and they had a structure called as office in a box. वो लोग अपना printer तक लेकर आते थे, printing stationery तक खुद के लाते थे. Everything used to get built. Even we chartered accountants bill everything, right? आज भी out of pocket expenses होते हैं. I don't know what that out of pocket expenses are. Still, I have not seen that. But your staff will come, madam, laptop nahi hai. Madam, printout nikal ke do. This is so embarrassing. And trust me, it has big companies also. I have faced those. I have worked in all the big companies in the world. Deloitte, आप Deloitte बात कर लें, आप EY बात कर लीजिए, चाहे आप PwC बात कर लीजिए. I have worked with all these people in the world, and I have seen the same problem everywhere. छोटी firm का नहीं, तो just think about छोटी चीज. How can you make yourself professional, and that will change. The people who come to work with you will also feel happy. यार मैं कुछ नया सीख रहा हूँ. I'm value adding. If you are able to increase your income, you will be able to pass it on to your team. Otherwise, you will have the attrition issues. 6 महीने नहीं हुआ आपका बंदा चला गया. Then you are struggling कि मेरे को तो I'm not able to set up because you have not grown. So I think on this platform, Dineshji, we have a clientele. These organizations need CFOs.
Yeah.
Just on a lighter note, guys, I think that will help. So I think that is my concluding remark. We need to evolve ourselves.
I would add 2 different dimensions to what Sandhya spoke. So as what Sandhya said, that where we need to evolve in terms of practicing CAs or CAs in corporate, right? There is a dimension from the client angle. See, the whole world is changing at a client side. The complexities are increasing. The variety of work which client is expecting from you is also changing. So it's a good time that we sit for some time and understand what is it my new client is expecting from me. It's a very different thing in today's world. Okay. So when you talk about SME, MSME or startup, the expectation from client need to be understood fairly well, and which is where comes on hum kya provide karenge. Okay, the point number 1. Point number 2, I added in my earlier communication a dimension of collaboration. In my view, when I see CA firms in general, they are limiting themselves to 5-member team or 10-member team. According to me, the creating a finance organization is an art by itself. So how do you build a finance organization with compensatory skill set of the people? So everybody will not be good at everything. You need people for accounts, taxation. You need people for analytics. They are whom they are good in Excel or PowerPoint or so different. You need to have your appropriate team with you or in your collaboration, so that you are able to deliver to client what it takes to deliver, right? In my view, I think if apart from what Sandhya said, if these 2 dimensions, what your client is expecting, need to be recognized and need to be appreciated. And number 2 is delegation, create a team ability, create that ability to create a team, create that delegation skills. That is very, very important to build large practices or large service clients. According to me, those 2 areas will be very, very important.
Thank you so much to both of you, Sandhya ma'am and Dinesh sir. I'm sure that with this wholesome discussion, all of us and as well as the audience, everyone has got a good idea about this new dimension of a virtual CFO from the platform of Gyanstation. Yeah, so I go hand it over now to CA Dipti Jain ma'am for continuing with further.
Thank you, Sagar, for this wonderful moderation of today's panel, and thank you both the panelists, Sandhya ji and Dinesh ji, for taking the session to the next level. We have got a few of our guests today. I invite Sandeep Marwadi ji to express himself in today's sessions. Over to you, Sandeep ji. And I have also received best wishes for Shweta ma'am from Priyanka Birla ji, from who is in the managing committee of Abu Dhabi. Due to some network issue, she is unable to connect to us. But she has forwarded, she has given her best wishes to you. Sandeep ji?
Dear Padima, my prayers and good wishes are always with you. All the best for your elections.
Thank you so much.
Dear Shweta Bhabi, my blessings is for you. I make some special lines for you. See the sunrise, feel the power, touch the future, reach the height. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, friend.
Dear buddy, I am wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, bacha.
पापा मम्मी की तरफ से हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं।
थैंक यू मम्मी जी, पापा जी, आप लोगों का ब्लेसिंग है तभी मैं ये कर सकती हूँ।
आशीर्वाद हमारा।
थैंक यू।
It's always the blessings of family, elders,
I
and
think,
seniors which make
I think
everything
this
possible.
becomes Deepti. Sorry if I can.
Yes,
so I think
yes,
this
please,
makes
ma'am.
a biggest endorsement for anybody. If a mother-in-law comes on the platform and endorses you, so that means you are a good individual. So I always equate being a daughter-in-law to a professional, because I think दोनों जगह पे बड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. So
Perfectly said.
You are a very good professional.
Agree with you.
तुम्हारी सासू माँ का एंडोर्समेंट मिल गया तो हमारा सबका एंडोर्समेंट है.
Thank you.
Hi Shweta, hi Sandhya.
Hi Pramod Sri,
We have CA Pramod Damnekar ji with us, past chairman of Vasai branch of ICI. Sir, please, yes sir, please. You are the co-host.
It is a very on a happy note that I was just listening some part of the speech you had just now. So this is specifically to congratulate Shweta madam for her upcoming election, and we are all there for you. The people like you, we want the representative on our this very august body, and I have seen her work in the profession, her rich contribution, maybe as a chairperson of the Vasai branch. When I was in the committee council of the Vasai branch, also seen her organizational abilities in various programs she conducted. So we have to take this institute to the next step. Please, all should support Shweta madam. Thank you, and all my best wishes for Shweta, for you. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and Sandhya, I take this opportunity also for organizing this very wonderful program this evening. And Sandhya, I just seeing you after, I think Shweta 2 साल के बाद में संध्या को मिल रहे, maybe on a virtually.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sandhya, thank you for your also contribution, because every time whenever you make any statement in a group or in a knowledge sector, that gives me a great pleasure to just gauge your knowledge and the intelligence in the profession. So keep serving this profession. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sandhya.
Thank you, Pramodji. Thanks a lot for the encouragement.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you, Pramod sir, for your very inspiring words for all of us. And thank you for joining Gyanstation today's meeting. And now,
thank you, Dipti. I think you see a Dipti Jain.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dipti, for such a wonderful anchoring to this great program. And I think you have got a very bright future in, deliberating and with the members. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Your blessings.
Yeah.
Now I invite CA KB Kothari ji, who is also the Vice President of JCF, to say a few words. Over to you, Kothari sir.
And he is the president of our Meera Bhainder chapter, JCA.
Okay, great. That I think.
एक्चुअली सर ने लॉग इन किया हो ना, वही मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है. सर एक्चुअली ही इज ऑन रेस्ट, रिसेंटली गॉट अ हार्ट सर्जरी, ओपन हार्ट सर्जरी. सो उन्होंने लॉग इन किया है, वो आए, वही मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा, आई थिंक, मोटिवेशन एंड अप्रिसिएशन.
Yeah, he has got a very big heart, Shweta.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just like 15-20 days back. He just
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we pray for here, we all be present
The
here. We
blessings
pray
and
for the recovery of Sir, that Sir should get well soon, very fast, and we pray for his recovery, and may everything, the whole operation go successful for him, and he lives a very normal and healthy life. So coming up to our next guest, we have CA Rupal Haria ji with us.
Yeah.
She's a very smiling, always smiling. Over to you, Rupal ji.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Gan Station. And after this great session, I would like to say about Shweta ji. I met her first time when she was chairperson of Vasai branch. And from that time onwards, our as a professional as well as we have become friends also. And I can see her since long, that whether she's in WRC, is last time she contested as someone Kanakya ji said that Krishna ji and all these things. But I have seen that continuously it is her endeavor to work for the fraternity member. Last time in COVID time, she was in working for ITT committee, and all the courses, online courses, which has been executed, very well executed, and it was helpful for the fraternity member. So we would like to see her in WIRC committee. I strongly recommend then we should give our first preference vote to Shweta ji. And now we would like to see her at WIRC and working and with her innovative ideas for fraternity member. All the best and good luck, Shweta ji, from my end.
Thank you, Rupal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rupal ji. Ma'am, CA Prakash ji Loda from Udaipur, he had also sent his best wishes to you for the upcoming election. Due to some network issue, he is unable to join today's session. But sir had given you your best wishes, and may the stars favor you.
Thank you so much. He is our principal. हमने वहां से articleship किए, me and Dinesh ji both. So of course his wishes means a lot to me.
These words, I would request if there are any questions pending in the chat box. Sagar, please look it into.
Yes, ma'am. There's one question which has been asked. So Rupal Haria had asked a question that, is there any portal or platform to get leads for a virtual CFO?
Okay. So can I answer this?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think this is one of an ask. So I don't think you will find any virtual portal. As of now, there is no database. But here comes as a smartness what you can play. You can log into this government website. This SMEs and MSMEs are registered. From there, you can find a portal from the database where these people are there. There you have to do your homework in terms of which sector they are, which sector you would be comfortable with. From segmenting, taking this list and segmenting, you will be able to design your approach, your vision about how you want to contact them, what kind of brochure you want to put it. That is the way to go. So as a CFOs, as a smart CFOs or the strategic CFOs, we call it as, we don't get direct lead. Don't expect the CA Institute as a publish karega. This is the data, please take it. Nobody's going to do that. We will have to play smart. Go on the different industry bodies which are there, jahan pe ye sara data publish hota hai. Try to be in the network of there are different associations. These small associations are there. There probably if you are part to it, like I think this government ke kafi programs hote hain, Shweta, if I'm not wrong, this MSME segments and everything. That will be your point of contact, how you can approach them. And for the like-minded, I think these kind of forums will be there where you can contact and you can see who is interested to grow their practice. Because trust me, inertia is a big hindrance in our growth. हम सभी जब we are very excited when we attend these conferences and everything. Yes, we want to change the thing and everything, but unfortunately, बात करते समय we all there will be have to be a win-win strategy, negotiations to be done. I think that will help you to do it. I hope you have answered my question. I have answered your question, Rupal.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the questions which have been asked by now. So thank you so much to the panelists. Thank you so much.
Sagar, we would like Dinesh ji also to share his opinion on this.
Yes, Dinesh sir. Yes, please go ahead.
So what Sandhya said, I just want to add one more point to that. There are industrial forums like Chamber of Commerce, right? There are so participate into those meetings, express your views, and the more you're vocal about your views and people would appreciate the different point of views on that, you will get leads from out there. There are startup forums. There are so many startup forums are there in respective cities and all. Participate into those forums. What kind of businesses are being presented? What kind of pitches are being made? And you will get to know that what is happening into the space. And accordingly, you can structure your offering.
Thank you, sir. Okay, yes, all the questions have been answered in the chat box. So we can go ahead with.
Can I propose that probably if anybody has a question or anybody, see, basically I'm into job, I'm still not into practice. But having said that, I'm more than happy to help the fraternity. So suppose if there are some like-minded people who think that how we can help, you guys can, how you can approach this particular thing, you want to make a change, you want to make a difference, please feel free to contact me via Shweta. If there's a small forum or something, you guys want to have some kind of a questions, I'll be more than happy to address those or provide my expertise, last 20 years exposure, how I can some kind of a guidance. So
very supportive words you have told. Definitely this session is going to be fruitful in this way that the mindset I have started, like people will start changing their mindset and will think about this new avenue of practice, virtual CFO, and definitely more they are going to contact or they are going to form small groups to carry on the activities, to learn, to explore, and to Google more about it.
Absolutely. So I don't think this will be Google पे इतना नहीं मिलेगा आपको, because this is a concept. Virtual CFOs you will find somewhere in there would be organizations. I'm happy to connect with Dinesh ji today because it gives me an opportunity, a new way of thought. If somebody is actually practically executing my idea, so I want to see how it works. So when I jump into the profession, I have a practical example in front of me.
It's a fantastic world. And
you can have a group of which Dinesh ji and you can lead for grooming for virtual CFO.
We'll be more than happy to do so.
Yes,
we'll be more than happy to
at this platform we can.
It will be my pleasure. Sure.
It will be our pleasure. Deepti will be more than happy to do that.
For sure, we are going to work on this, and I request Dinesh ji to say a few words. As Shweta ma'am, Dinesh ji both have done articleship together, so we would like to have your experiences with ma'am.
Yeah, so Deepti, I know Shweta from my article days, and we studied together. I know whatever work she undertakes, she do it with full dedication, and I'm a down to earth person. I have been seeing her fighting last election also. Whichever work she gets engaged into, she will ensure that it is done to the T. So in my own view, the profession is undergoing change. It needs people who can deliver what it takes to deliver. In my view, Shweta Jain will be the best candidate for that. I have worked with her in a last election also. It was unfortunate that due to only one vote, she missed last chance. In my view, this time she will win with super majority vote is my wish to Shweta.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely, wishes of good friends always work.
Yes.
I request to CA Ravi Jain ji, who had played a very important role in organizing today's session. He has been in continuous coordination with me and making all arrangements and making things, calling upon and coordinating with taking care of every minute details to make this program successful. So first of all, I thank you, Ravi ji, for being such a good team member, and I request you to say a few words. Over to you, Ravi ji.
Thank you, Dipti ji, for organizing such a nice event. And I'm here to give my best wishes to Shweta Didi. I think almost everybody know Shweta Didi is my real sister, and I have a two role over here to give her the best wishes, both as a family member. One as an immediate family member, as a brother, and I wish her all the best for the success in this upcoming election. And second, as a family member of CA fraternity, because being immediate family member, I can say she always put the CA fraternity also of at equal importance for organizing any seminar, conducting any events, right from last 15 years basically. So I can see each and every event and each and every activities of the institute. She is closely monitoring and closely doing it basically with her full passion and zeal. As such, as the CA fraternity at large is as her immediate family. So I request all the family members of CA fraternity also to consider her passion and to bring the change in the upcoming elections and give her the first and best preference votes. Thank you, Shweta Didi, and all the best wishes.
Thank you so much.
Just bear with me. Papa also wanted to say something, but inside, if the video doesn't work, I will have her voice to be given to you.
Okay.
Papa. All the best, beta.
Thank you, Papa.
All the best.
Thank you, Mummy.
And thank you, Dinesh sir and Sandhya madam for such a lovely sessions. So it was a very informative and very useful for the future prospect of each and every CA members. And of course, in this changing scenario and the changing dynamics of overall economical developments and global changes. Thank you everybody. And Sagar ji also very nicely moderated the sessions. Thank you.
Yes, Ravi.
It was our pleasure, Ravi. It was our pleasure.
I invite CA Priyanka Jaju for the vote of thanks and to conclude our today's session. Over to you.
Thank you to both the panelists for such a wonderful session. And also I thank you everyone for your best wishes for Shweta ma'am and Archana ma'am. So I request all of you to cast first preference vote to Shweta ma'am and hoping her to see in regional council. So, okay, thank you.
Wonderful, Priyanka. So with this note and remark, we end our today's session. Stay tuned with Gyanstation and our best wishes to all the candidates, to Shweta ma'am, and let the right candidate win and transform the ICAI structure, the complete structure which we have at ICAI, and may it be more reachable to the members even at the remote area.
Absolutely.
Thank you everyone. It's really means a lot to me, and now I'm feeling like just I'm not contesting. It's about everyone. You guys are contesting. It's feeling like we are a one team, and wo thoda mera relaxation. I can have some liberty to that yes, I have a team in my group or something like that, or I can assure all of you that even after I'm getting elected, you guys can reach me at any point of time. Just feel like it's koi farak nahi padta मैं अभी इलेक्टेड मेंबर हूँ या नहीं हूँ, और probably जीतना हारना तो सब अलग बात है. लास्ट टाइम अगर नहीं भी विन किया तो भी doesn't matter. We can provide our services without any position also. So please feel free to reach me at any point of time. If my call is not connected, you can send me SMS also. So in any way, I can assure you that I'll be approachable to you. That's it. That's I can say to all of you. And thank you so much.
All the best, Shweta.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Today's session, sir. Yes, thank you. So thank you everyone. Thank you Dinesh ji, Shweta ma'am, Sagar, Ravi ji, and Sandhya ma'am, and all the participants for joining us today. Stay tuned with Gyanstation for more upcoming sessions like this. Do visit at www.gyanstation.in to know all the upcoming webinars and register yourself directly. Connect with Gyanstation, various social media handles like Telegram channel, YouTube, to watch all the latest webinars or past webinars which we have conducted, and definitely it's going to be very helpful for you.